Tech and clips.
Yeah. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new on here, my name is Philip. This is Philip Easy Reacts. Guys, today we're going to be checking out this song by Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr. This is a duet. Yeah. And song is titled Home to Us. This is a lyric video. Guys, I'm not too sure if this is an old song or a new song, but maybe you guys can let me know down in the comment section. But whether new or old, I've never heard it before, so I'm super excited to actually be sitting here and be listening to it. Thankfully, this is a lyric video, so this should be easy. Listen to it, and I'll share my thoughts about it at the end of the video. I hope that you guys stick with me till then. Let's go.
But it was home to us, and you could be forgiven if you thought that it was rough, but it was home to us. The roses in the yard began to wilt and then they turned to dust, but it was home to us. We didn't worry where the road was gonna take us to. Time to make a fuss, cause that was all we knew. The world around us wasn't safe, the place was falling down, but it was my hometown, and it was home to us. The lady on the hill was drinking brandy, eating caviar, the perfect host.
Yeah.
My mom was in the kitchen, washed the dishes in the sink, and then she burned the toast. The kids are in the alley playing ball till the sun goes down, but that was my hometown, and it was home to us. There wasn't time to make a fuss.
I love that instrumentation.
The place was falling down, but that was my hometown. Yeah, 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 and it was all I knew, cause it was home to us.
Whoa. All right, guys. Yes, for McCartney, Ringo Starr, Home to Us, official lyric video. Guys, I have to be honest. I mean, seeing and listening to Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr together, on this particular song, Home to Us, honestly feels surreal. You can hear decades of friendship, history, and life experience packed into this song, in my opinion. And I feel like that emotional weight kind of like hits almost immediately. This doesn't come across like two legends trying to chase trends or prove anything. It definitely feels genuine. Basically what I'm trying to say, it feels reflective and deeply personal. The first thing that stood out to me was how warm and comforting the whole track felt. It has that classic Paul McCartney heart to it, but there's also this lived in honesty from Ringo, that I feel like makes the song feel human instead of polished to perfection. Their voices aren't trying to sound young or flashy, and I feel like that's actually what makes it so powerful. I mean, you hear age, you hear memories, you hear struggle, you hear gratitude, all of it. It sounds like two old friends sitting together, looking back on where they came from. Lyrically, I feel like I mean, like I said, thankfully this was a lyric video, so I mean, I was able to get a few of the lines and lyrics in there, and I feel like lyrically the song really hits. If you've ever had complicated feelings about your hometown or your past, the idea of a rough place still feeling like home, to me, is something a lot of people can connect to. There's nostalgia in the lyrics, but not the fake everything was perfect in the back then kind of nostalgia. To me, it feels real. Like, yeah, life was messy, but those experiences actually shaped us. Vocally, guys, Paul still, I feel like Paul still has that emotional pull that makes you lean in, and Ringo brings this grounded humble energy that I feel like balances everything perfectly. I mean, the contrast between them, I have to say, works so well, because I mean, it feels natural instead of forced. And honestly, hearing them trade lines together gave me chills a couple of times, just because of what they represent musically and historically. Production wise, I love that the song doesn't overdo anything. I mean, it's smooth, it's melodic, and easy to sink into. The instrumentation wraps around the vocals instead of competing with them, which makes the emotional storytelling land even harder. To me, it feels timeless in that way, where you could play it late at night with some premium headphones on and just drift into it. I mean, replay value for this song, absolutely, I would definitely check this song out again. So replay value, it's up there. Yeah. And it's not because it's some huge explosive anthem, but because it feels comforting. This is the kind of song that I feel like grows on you the more. I mean, with every single listen, I can already see long time Beatles fans getting emotional over it, but even casual listeners will I feel like will probably connect with the honesty and warmth. Yeah. So overall, I feel like this song, Home to Us, feels less like a big, event single, and more like a heartfelt conversation between two legends, who've seen everything. And honestly, I feel like that is what makes it even more special. Guys, I was blown away when I actually saw this. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your perspective. Let me know if you want me to get back checking out more from Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr. If yes, go down there and then shoot me some suggestions. I'll be so glad to listen to these songs and share my honest opinions about them. Yeah, if you tune in, if you stuck with me to edit the video, you're loved. Very much appreciated on here. My name is Philip, and on to the next music. Take care, stay safe, peace out.